Phase 3 of Season of Discovery is finally here. I am excited. Let's see what we get.
Hi everyone, I'm Clay Stone, Associate Production Director of WoW Classic. Welcome to our Season of Discovery Phase 3 preview. As our team has shared in the past, we have been blown away by the reception to Season of Discovery, and we're so excited to share this sneak peek at what's ahead with you.
It has been good, except for the class balance. That still needs a lot of work, but everything else, fun and great.
So with that, let's take a look at what we'll be covering today. We'll kick things off with raid information. Then, a preview of rune abilities, followed by our PvP updates, changes and additions being made to world events, a look at what's coming to professions, and close it out with a very important system update, and more, which you're definitely going to want to stick around for. All right, so
That's already a lot. That's more than I expected.
just like last time, some disclaimers. We're going to put the build up on PTR soon to check our era and hardcore realms, but like all the other phases, Phase 3 of Season of Discovery will not have a PTR for player testing.
Okay.
Still, there will be some data mining that occurs in advance of the launch. But as we've been saying since the beginning of Season of Discovery, not everything data mined will actually be in the phase or future phases, so speculators beware.
Okay.
And conversely, there's more to discover in this upcoming phase and beyond than we're going to talk about ahead of time, and we want your feedback. Everything we do across Classic continues to be a journey that is co-written by you, the players, and we can't wait to hear your thoughts on all of it. All right, so I'm sure it is a total surprise that absolutely no one saw coming that the Temple of Atal Hakar, aka the Sunken Temple, will be our new and first 20-player level up raid.
We knew this, and I have honestly a little bit mixed feelings about this because, man, the Sunken Temple is... Gnome Ring was awesome, but you know what wasn't awesome about Gnome Ring? Same thing about, the exact same thing as in BFD. Too much trash mobs. And, well, the Sunken Temple is gonna probably be trash mob heaven. And with 20 players, well, it's gonna be even bigger. So, you know, if they cut down the size of the trash mobs, that would be beyond amazing, I'm not gonna lie. This is what they need to do with raids. Less trash mobs, okay?
This raid is jam-packed with 8 bosses, tons of new items, including new item sets, new and revamped epic drops, and up-leveled and rebalanced quest rewards. This is also when the level 50 class quests come online, which will provide a wide array of powerful items for each class. Jumping into a quick preview of a few of the bosses, the first boss in this raid is Atelarion, a massive berserker troll that acts as a bit of a janitor, cleaning up or potentially eating any person or thing that happens to fall down from the atrium above. If the fall doesn't kill you, this guy definitely will. Next up, we have a brand new boss, the Festering Rot Slime. This engorged, gelatinous monster inexorably patrols one of the outer rings of the Sunken Temple, consuming any wandering adventurers hapless enough to cross its path. A bit further into the raid, we have Jamal.
Yay! More poison totem, more cleansing totem gameplay from shamans. Yay!
On and Ogum, a priest and an undead avenger, utterly dedicated to seeing the blood god Hakar return to the mortal world. These two will keep you on your toes and have a few tricks up their sleeve to keep the fight interesting each time you encounter them.
Now they say keep the fight interesting, but my speculation,
last boss,
and a lot of speculation of other people, is that they're not going to make it more difficult, okay? BDF was 0 mechanics, Gnome Ring was, well, 1 to 2 mechanics, or 0 mechanics. Most bosses had 0 mechanics. Okay? It is what it is, it's true, you know it. But they can't really make this harder, because again, hard World of Warcraft doesn't necessarily work at all. And in Classic currently, Phase 2, the big problem was no one wants rogues, no one wants warriors, no one really wants hunters also. Because they don't really give too many things. Well, hunters give things, okay? Hunters give a 10% stat boost. But there's too many hunters. So, you know, things like that. I wonder how this is going to play out in Phase 3 now. If the raids are too hard, some classes are going to get shafted again. So, that's just one more reason for not making the raids too hard.
Boss in this preview is the mighty green dragon, Aranicus. Aranicus has been having a bit of a bad dream for the past few decades, and that dream is manifesting in our world in a variety of ways, which Nora will talk about in just a little bit. For those that make it to his lair, we can't recommend waking this big beast up, but if you do and are able to prevail, a lot of sweet loot will no doubt await you. Speaking of loot, here's a quick look at some of the awesome rewards you'll find inside the Sunken Temple.
That sounds almost like an optimal challenge.
First up, we have a new take on the Drakestone item with a new Shadow Arcane spell damage variant. Next up is a rather unique weapon. Yes, it's an axe gun. Shamans and paladins have felt left out for quite some time when it comes to having ranged...
Gun axe? It says axe, it doesn't say gun though. Use 5 the gun axe for dealing damage, blah blah blah, over... I'm pretty sure shamans couldn't care less, but okay.
Weapons, and short of Egan's blaster, there's not much for them. Now, you too can have a gun that you can swing like an axe, or
also, wait. Let's look at this item again. 3.3 speed and this much damage? Are we sure this is even good? I don't remember the stats of the two-handed weapons in Gnomer, but is this not actually the same or slash weaker? Question mark?
And short of Egan's blaster, there's not much for them. Now, you too can have a gun that you can swing like an axe or shoot like a gun, with a cooldown, of course. It's unfortunately a bit slow on the reload. Lastly, we have a quick look at our tier tokens. Similar to AQ40, we'll have 2 different tokens with several classes on each. We really like the token system in Nomergon, but it sometimes felt a bit bad to be rolling against the entire raid whenever one dropped. So now we'll have 2 different tokens, and multiple will drop on each boss that can drop set tokens. And here's a quick look at some of the epic rewards. First off, we've got a glow up for the classic Embrace of the Serpent robe for healers. We've also updated the sword Dragon's Call. One cool thing about this weapon is that we've added several brand new glow effects for weapons in this patch. And this is one of the first items to take advantage of having a very fancy, but still quite classic, new glow. And just like in previous raids...
Wait, isn't this the same damage as the claw? Isn't this just a downgrade from the Gnomer claw? Technically?
Effects for weapons in this patch.
Interesting.
And this is one of the first items to take advantage of having a very fancy, but still quite classic, new glow. And just like in previous raids, we've got several fun items lined up as well. The first item is the Atalai Blood Ceremony, which allows you and a friend or frenemy to play a deadly game where only one survives. This item is great for when you need to decide something, and a coin flip just won't cut it. The Unorthodox Hex Stick allows you to embrace your inner critter and transform into a disgusting little creepy crawler to dazzle and disgust your friends. These are just a few examples, and there are several cool things coming with this patch. We've intentionally left the best ones for you to discover yourself. Lastly, one bit of feedback we took to heart this patch was that a lot of updated quest rewards for previous level up raids could feel a bit underwhelming. So for Sunken Temple, we've actually gone a step further and helped rebalance and restat many of the existing quest rewards. The first example here is a Vanguard Helm, and you can see we've made it a bit more attractive to the classes that can use it, and Helm of Exile as well. And while not a quest reward, we have also carried forward some of the work we did updating dungeon drops in the previous phase. And
well, the crafting ones are still probably, well, not probably, but are better than this, so... I mean, it's like catch-up gear technically, I guess, maybe? Who knows?
Vamped even more dungeon drop rewards, including Princess Theradras's Scepter. And with that, I'll turn it over to Matt to give us a preview of runes and just some...
Okay. I have talked about this. Rogues, warriors, hunters did not have a great time in Gnomer because it was really hard to find groups. Even your guild didn't sometimes want it, most of the times didn't want to take me. Offended? Not really, but that's fine. In any case, yeah, druids, feral druids completely just jumped off the face of the planet, which by the way also proves Flat Earth be real, but you know, they completely were gone. So, a small change like this, I don't know if that works, Chief. Okay? I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough.
Some of the new abilities you'll get access to.
Hey folks, I'm Matt Everett, Senior Engineer on the Classic team. I'll go over some of the new runes you might find in Phase 3.
This man's proportions are so wrong, it kind of scared me a bit.
Before that, I want to note that we heard your feedback that a lot of runes last phase weren't accessible until level 40. We've tried to balance Phase 3.
No, the feedback about the runes in actuality is we wanted, honestly, more runes. The runes we got, a lot of them were okay, some of them were bad, but we need more runes.
So you'll find more runes while leveling, but you'll still have some to look forward to at 50. Let's look at druids first. Gore gives you a chance to reset some key feral cooldowns and generate some...
Striking a target with the last rate swipe or maul has a 15 chance to reset the cooldown of maul bear and grants 10 range. Striking a target with mangle, cat, or shred has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown tiger's fury. This is pretty big. This is pretty big.
Rage. And
Especially considering they have Wind Fury.
improved Bark Skin gives you all the benefits of Bark Skin without the drawbacks, and you can cast it on your friends. Next,
Wow. We're already not using defensive cooldowns, by the way.
your friends. Next up are Hunters. With Lock and Load, your traps grant you a free shot with no cooldown. This
Wait, what? Each time one of your traps is triggered, your next shot ability within 20 seconds costs no mana! My god, boys. My god. Because everyone knows the struggle of Hunters was obviously mana, because what is Viper aspect or whatever it's called.
down. This could be a great 1-2 punch with something like Double Chimera Shot. Focus Fire lets your pet build up Frenzy, which increases its attack
Okay.
speed. You can activate it to consume your
Basic.
pet's Frenzy, boosting your attack speed and granting your pet Focus. Next up are Mages. Deep Freeze is a power
Does it sound like they completely gave up on Lone Wolf for Hunters, by the way? Because it kind of seems like they did. Every melee hunter is using a pet. I mean, you think if you're using a melee hunter, well, you're probably actually, not using a pet, but everyone still is.
pet's Frenzy, boosting your attack speed and granting your pet. Next up are Mages. Deep Freeze is a powerful 5-second stun on a frozen target. If the target's immune to stuns, it takes significant damage.
Okay, so this already tells me that Frost is still gonna be other garbanzo for actual raiding. Frost is currently the worst performing spec for damage by a long shot. It's crazy. And this is a PvP thing.
Instead, Balefire Bolt lets you live on the edge of risk and reward, dealing heavy damage but decreasing your spirit.
Ah, we already have seen this. I'm making an Arcane Mage, so this is gonna be cool. And there's no risk and reward here, okay? Because no one's pressing this for the 10th cast, okay? On the 10th cast of this, you die. No one is doing that, okay?
If you reach 0 spirit, you die. And by the way, if you're leveling a new mage, you might find this rune earlier than you expect. Paladins. Improved Sanctuary makes you even tankier, increasing Sanctuary's damage blocked and damage dealt back to attackers. Wrath lets you
Okay.
crit with Consecration, and applies your melee crit chance to your Holy Shock, Holy Wrath, and Exorcism spells. Let's look
Okay, I don't know what that means. Don't play a
at Priests.
Paladin.
Pain and Suffering allows your Mind Flay ability to refresh the duration of Shadow Word Pain, while
Yeah, no, is that even going to be useful at this point? We're also going to get the Void Zone thing, and we're also going to get the critical thing. You know, when your dots can crit. Well, that could potentially be actually good for Void Plague, but just Shadow Word Pain? I mean, is it even worth putting 1 point in Mind Flay? Because you're spamming Mind Spike. I don't know. I'm not sure. Is Mind Spike not gonna be better than Mind Flay at this point? Well, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Surge of Light causes your crits to make your next smite or flash heal instant cast. Rogues. Honor Among Thieves is incredibly powerful, granting you a combo point each time a party member
Hell yeah. We knew that this is gonna happen. Finally, the boosts to energy generation are happening.
scores a crit. It does
This is, by the way, going to be completely batshit OP and insane, and most likely is going to get rogues nerfed, because you need to understand one thing already. Spam Eviscerate is already outperforming rogue white damage, which is unheard of pretty much for any class. White damage is supposed to be your bread and butter for at least melees. Don't know how it's for hunters, never checked, but it's already outperforming white damage. So the idea that you're gonna be able to eviscerate every 2 seconds, and I'm saying every 2-3 seconds, is because mutilate. You're still gonna cast the mutilate, and then you're gonna cast the eviscerate. This is gonna be absolutely bonkers.
scores a crit. It does have a short cooldown, but you'll be swimming in combo points with this rune. Cut to the Chase makes it easier to keep Slice and Dice up by allowing Eviscerate.
Oh, okay, we did not know about this. Finally! Finally! I mean, currently applying Slice and Dice is not hard or tedious to keep it up or anything, obviously. But reapplying Slice and Dice just feels bad no matter what. So, this is busted.
And Envenom to refresh it back to its max duration.
Nice.
Next up are shamans.
Amazing.
When you deal melee damage, mental dexterity applies your intellect to your attack power, and then applies 30% of your attack power to your spells. Riptide is a fan favorite.
Yeah, this is absolutely broken and busted without absolutely any excuses. The enhanced shamans are already busted, but this just makes it even more. This just completely makes it even more insane.
That instantly heals the target for an initial amount, and then heals for a similar amount over time. When you chain heal a target with Riptide active, it gets consumed to power up the chain heal. Warlocks. Pandemic makes damage over time spells even more overwhelming by letting them crit. With this rune, you can summon the iconic Felguards to supplement your stable of demon pets. The
Yeah, we knew about the Felguard. The Felguard's gonna be strong no matter what.
Felguard is a powerful melee damage dealer capable of both tanking and dealing out serious punishment. He's not the only new demon you can summon this phase, but I'll let you discover that on your own. Warriors. With Taste for Blood, your rend damage lets you use Overpower once per 6 seconds. Sword and Board gives your Devastate and Revenge a chance to reset Shield Slam's cooldown and make it cost no rage. This time, Warriors get a bonus rune. The much-requested Gladiator stance lets you live that Sword and Shield Gladiator fantasy.
Wow.
This increases your damage when wearing a shield, as well as
Wait. Every class is just getting 2 runes? Is that really it? In that case, because that's a lot disappointing, not gonna lie.
use abilities from other stances at the cost of survivability.
There's no way.
This is one we've really been looking forward to bringing to the season, and we can't wait to see what Warriors are able to do with it. I love watching players work together to find all the new runes each phase, and I'm looking forward to this one. Up next, Nora will join us to talk about PvP updates.
Is Nora hot?
Thanks, Matt. My name's Nora
Yeah, we know Nora. Mommy.
Valletta, and I'm a lead software engineer on WoW Classic. I'm here to talk about some of the other updates we've got coming in Phase 3, starting with PvP.
Tell me more.
One of the things we've learned from previous phases
Tell
is
me
that
your
PvP
number,
can be
actually.
a bit rough when the only thing available is PvE gear that is generally set up with output stats rather than survivability stats. As a result, we're going to be introducing a brand new level
Okay, I actually don't know what she thought. I phased out.
50 PvP set that requires ranks 5 through 7 to equip and earn.
Huh?
This is similar to the rank 10 and rank 13 PvP sets in that it's a full 6-piece set with appropriate PvP set bonuses. There will
Okay.
also be a starter set available from a new faction called the Emerald Wardens, but we'll go into more detail on them later on.
Tell me
Here's a
more.
quick look at a few of the new PvP set items. You'll notice that they are a bit
Increase damage and healing. Increase damage. Increase healing. Mage. Okay, so very basic stuff. Okay.
more specialized and focused than the previous level 60 PvP sets were. Each class will have a variety of sets available to them, such that multiple different specs or roles are covered. We're also making a few adjustments to the Blood Moon event, including adding brand new rewards for level 50. We'll also be adding a new currency for the level 50 rewards called Massacre Coins, which you'll earn when killing higher level players in the event. We'll be retiring the Bloodstained commendations that are currently available from the Blood Coin vendor. Any existing commendations that you have will still function after the patch, but don't hold on to them forever. They will expire after 2 weeks. We think it's okay if you're able to bank these now to give you a bit of a leg up on PvP.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna get a single PvP thing. Well, I already have gotten single PvP things, but I'm not gonna grant any kind of Warsong reputation to Exalted, okay? I'm gonna be fine without it. I don't want a PvP in Classic. PvP in Classic is just not good.
Ranking at the start of the next phase, but we don't necessarily want you to be able to hoard enough coins to get you all the way up to rank 14 later on when that rank becomes available. We'll have a new PvP.
People are already doing this, sweet cheeks, okay? People are already doing this in preparation for this. People expected shit like this. So, people are already doing, Stranghold Valley. Why can't I pronounce it? Anyway, people are already doing it, and they're turning in the timber to get Arati maxed out. So, you know, it is what it is.
PvP Honor Consumable Token for level 50 as well, purchasable with the new currencies. And how about some gear? Here are a few of the new items available via the Blood Moon event.
Knocks target silly for 2 seconds. We already had this, didn't we? What is this? Throne Epic. Hurl target, immobilize them for... Okay, that's interesting. Attack power when fighting Dragonkin. That's probably Abyss. Your range attacks leech 5 health from target. Okay, Chief, relax. Hunters. Wait, this is less damage than the current Gnomer gun. Huh! Or wait, is it? I don't know. But the Gnomer gun is so bad, my rogue just has it as bling. So, you know, it is what it is.
In Phase 3, Do note that the Headhunter's Barbed Spear is a warrior-only weapon. We also realized that ranged hunters may have felt a bit left out last time, so we've gone ahead and given them a pretty strong crossbow option in this round.
Range hunters don't exist. If you're a range hunter, good luck finding a gnomer.
Well, Phase 3 of Season of Discovery will soon be upon us, and with it comes new loot, new opportunities to gain experience, and new adventure. Let's take a quick look at our new PvE world event called Nightmare Incursions. Picture, if you will, the 4 emerald portals scattered across Azeroth.
Okay.
At this point in history, the dragons of Nightmare, Terrar, Ysondra, Emerus, and Lethan have not yet arrived to spread their terror. However, as you approach each portal, you can't help but sense hidden danger. Something's not quite right. Those brave enough to enter an emerald portal will be plunged into a realm seeping with corruption and overrun with dragons, treants, and other poor souls driven mad by the corruption. But beware, not all foes are alike. Some enemies can be defeated by a single seasoned adventurer, while others are perhaps too powerful to be faced alone. Nightmare Incursions offer repeatable PvE content for levels 25 through 50. To check it out,
25 to 50? Is this going to be like a new leveling thing? Whoa! Yeah, can't wait to find Mage Khalif for this.
we enter one of the 4 emerald portals located in Duskwood, Ashenvale, Hinterlands, or Feralis. This is a great new opportunity to earn experience, and those who choose to jump in and fight the corruption will have the chance to earn reputation with an all-new faction called the Emerald Wardens. With great danger comes great rewards. The
Hot.
Emerald Wardens will be very grateful for your help and will be offering a selection of choice new items to sweeten the deal. One of the cool things about Nightmare Incursions is that we plan to include some rewards at different player levels, as there will be content available for players roughly level 20 all the way to 50 across all 4 Nightmare portals. The first example is this Nightmare Siphon Trinket, which could be really fun for low-level alts. For level 50, we have the
Wait, restores 150? And mana? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, look at that, and they added, so, okay. So, this is OP for the leveling.
Roar of the Dream, a somewhat unique ring that has a sizable spell damage proc on it. Lastly, we also plan to take
That's
a page from the
really
Burning
good.
Crusade playbook and make a level 50 PvP set available at Honored with the new Emerald Wardens faction. This set isn't as powerful as some of the other PvP item rewards we plan to add this phase, but it's a good stepping stone into the better items later on.
Step
With the
on
launch
me.
of Phase 3 comes a host of interesting new updates to professions. Continuing on from the first 2 phases, we'll be introducing a new quest chain to give players access to new nightmare armaments, crafting recipes, as well as some fun things for engineering, enchanting, and alchemy. We've also learned a few lessons from the previous phase of professions, so the cost to access the recipes will be essentially free in terms of raw gold, and the cost of the recipes that Ziri offers in Nomergon are going to be decreased as well, in case you want to buy additional recipes for completion or you have an alt that wants to snag the recipes for themselves. We think gold sinks are important and are going to explore different ways later on to do that are not so directly on the critical path of gear progression. Here's a quick look at a few of the crafted items you can make this phase. There are many more across various professions and for various specs and roles. As you can see,
Channel the power of the void, granting immunity to fear for 15 seconds. Okay. Damaging spells have a chance to increase your spell damage. There's a lot of chance to things here, huh?
some of these items offer interesting new unequipped effects which are applied while you're under the influence of the nightmare.
Oh, look at this, though. This, oh, it's male, though. Oof. Damaging spells have a chance to increase cast speed by 10%. This is kind of insane. But, yeah, it's male, so, you know, eh.
If you'd prefer to stay nightmare-free, we've got some cool new items, such as the Void-powered Slayer's Vambraces, which can grant you immunity to fear for 15 seconds. We do plan to allow you to pick up specializations this phase, as well as allow you to level to 300 in each profession. Additionally, we've added a few new surprises here.
Wow.
For example, we are adding a quest to allow you to get additional potion, elixir, and flask procs when crafting those types of consumables. You'll also have to do a little bit of legwork to unlock these things, but the benefits should be well worth it. The lion's share of
Okay, everyone already knows this, but dual specializations are also coming here. I can't wait to see how cancerous is going to be the quest to do it, because it's probably going to take 50 years, and I'm going to scam literally every summoner.
our new toys involving professions specs will be coming after level 60, and we have some very cool things planned there to allow you to make the most of your professions. Well, that was a lot of updates. I hope I didn't forget anything. Josh, I'm not forgetting anything, am I?
Now that you mention it, Nora, there is one small system that you might have missed. But
Give Haughty back.
first, hi, I'm Josh Greenfield, senior game producer on WoW Classic. So there is one small system change coming, and honestly, the update is so minor we almost didn't mention it, because we didn't think anyone would really care, but since we're all previewing things, we figured we might as well. So,
Okay.
in 1.15.2 with Phase 3, you may happen upon a dashing dwarf from a faraway land that has one very special talent that he wants to share with you, for a small fee, of course. Actually, to be a little bit more specific, he has 2 sets of special talents to share.
Wait, this is not going to be a quest that takes you 15 hours to complete and sends you from one point to the other most furthest point of a possible? That's crazy.
Like I said, we were pretty sure this wouldn't be a big deal to most players. We probably should have just left it out of the presentation entirely. So, with that, we're approaching the home stretch, but we've got a tiny bit more to discuss, and we want to take some time to cover a few other miscellaneous topics, commonly asked questions, as well as a quick look at how things will start to shape up at level 60. So let's jump right into that. So the first topic here is world buffs. As with the previous phases, we'll continue to allow you to use the previous world buff up through the current max level. The new raid, Sunken Temple, will also include a new world buff. We'll also be making some rather powerful consumables available for exchange on a certain NPC using materials found in the Sunken Temple raid. These are spiritually similar to the Zanza elixirs that you could obtain by exchanging items found in Zul'Gurub. They're quite powerful, so you'll definitely want to bring them with you to the raid when you can. Also, as with previous phases, we did want to clarify that bankable, repeatable turn-in items will not function to allow you to level quickly from 40 to 50. We really love the preparation aspects of original WoW, and things like pre-questing are great, but being able to bank hundreds or even thousands of repeatable quest turn-in items to get multiple levels right when the phase begins is not going to be supported in this or any phase going forward. To be clear, this includes things like Marks of Honor, Wastewander water pouches, and the troll necklaces from the hinterlands. One of the big lessons we've learned in Season of Discovery is how tricky it can be to balance the level-up journey and the outdoor world, but to also encourage players to play multiple characters. It's tricky to manage, especially against a seasonal backdrop where the content phases are relatively short by World of Warcraft standards. To help out with this a bit, we introduced a very powerful Discoverer's Delight XP buff at the midpoint of Phase 2. And while that was effective at increasing the speed at which you could level alts, it didn't really help to reduce the fatigue that came with leveling your first main character. By way of a compromise, in Phase 3, you will earn 50% additional XP from all sources from levels 40 to 49, and this will...
That's good. That's good. Admittedly, this was expected. Now, the interesting thing about the future of World of Warcraft is after Season of Discovery ends, what's going to happen? Because people are not going to accept the idea of no longer having double experience. It's just not happening. It is not happening.
Will be active right when Phase 3 goes live. This is just to give a slight nudge right away. It will still be a sizable number of hours to hit 50, but this will help move that along without feeling like you're either just flying through zones or conversely in danger of running out of quests if questing is your preferred leveling method. Note that the 100% buff from 1 through 39 will remain in place as well. Overall, we think that these buffs are a decent solution, but they aren't what we consider to be ideal. We're going to carry a lot of what we learned forward if we do something like this again, and maybe look at other adjustments we can make to help smooth the leveling curve in general. Additionally, as with Black Fathom Deeps before, Gnomeregan will give a sizable amount of XP for each boss kill, so continuing to run that with your guild will be a worthwhile activity when it is available to you. On the same token, we see Nightmare Incursions as a good quick way to get a good chunk of XP if you find yourself wanting a change of pace from your normal leveling routine. There's a lot of repeatable content that gives experience there. As for the raid release and lockout schedule, we've been thinking a lot about this, and we decided to shift Sunken Temple to a weekly lockout, and it will be available right at the release of Phase 3, kind of similar to what we did with Gnomeregan in Phase 2. Players will have 5 full days to hit level 50 if you want to try and get in a raid during that first lockout, and then the raid will work like any other weekly lockout, resetting on Tuesday or your normal regional lockout day. We decided to make this swap for a few reasons. First, we've gotten feedback from players saying they would like to have a bit more consistency with their raid schedule, and with the raid size going up to 20 players in this phase, being able to plan long-term is even more important.
Yeah, with 20 players, imagine getting 20 players to run every 3 days. That's a bit much. It's a completely understandable change.
We'll also talk about this a little bit more in the next few slides, but we're also thinking ahead to what the raiding landscape will look like once we hit level 60. That also informs this decision. Lastly, on this topic, we will be sure we are being generous with drops to compensate for this change.
Oh, good. That was also something I wanted to say. But 3-day lockouts are good on the pod that with 10 people you're kind of getting quickly get technically, unless you're me who gets literally 2 purples first run he does, parsing gray by the way, because never played priest before, and then after that I don't get anything until the phase ends. My rogue, the second thing I leveled to 40, still has, well, I have a dagger, I have my biz daggers, and I have the toxic dagger, which I'm not using by the way, and I have 1 irradiated piece, a cloak, and a trinket. That's it. That's literally my gear set, okay? It's shit. Still parsed 80 last Gnomer. Not using the talents, by the way, guys. Past fucking 80 with that shit. Oh, bruh. Imagine if I had actual items.
Segue to talk about level 60 in-game. Since we're getting close to 60, we think it makes sense to dig into a few more details of what you can expect starting with Phase 4. This preview is very, very early and in no way comprehensive, but it's just meant to be a minor sneak peek at some things we have cooking. Again, to stress that much of what you will see here is still very much in development, and some specifics could and likely will change. This is more of a look at our general thought process, rather than the actual set-in-stone plans we have. As we alluded to a few slides ago, we plan to standardize raid lockouts from level 50 and beyond to a weekly reset. This includes things like Zul'Gurub, Ruins of Anchorage, and Onyxia's Lair. We also want to ensure with our itemization updates, many of the items...
Is that it, by the way? Weapon skills. Oh, no.
Even in early raids, remain relevant for a pretty good long time. Ultimately, this is a very classic approach, and many items you got, even as your pre-raid best in slot, such as the Hand of Justice or the Savage Gladiator chain, remained good for several tiers, and we want to carry this forward. With this in mind, however, we know you will likely want to run several different raids a week, but we want to avoid a situation where logistics gets messy because you have to contend with a large number of irregular, unwieldy raid log timers. By the time Blackwing Lair is out, for example, there's going to be a large menu of relevant things to do at level 60, and being able to plan and schedule activities on a predictable cadence is going to be very important. Last quick note on this, while Upper Blackrock Spire is technically a 10-player raid, it's...
By the way, did anyone else get the feeling that when level 60 hits, it's kind of over, Season of Discovery is over? And then you get reminded that, no, wait, actually, first there's going to be Rag, Onyxia, Blackwind Lair, AQ, and Nox at the very end, which I don't know if I'm going to survive until that point, because, you know, I have not done Nox a single time in my life. I never stay until that point. I never do, I just burn out on AQ around that point. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes today. But man, remember, at level 60, it's still not over. Season of Discovery at 60 still is not over. And there is a chance that with all the releases of the new raids, maybe we're going to get some new runes and stuff like that at that point, which would be wild.
It's never had a lockout, and that will remain true. It's essentially a 10-player dungeon and will remain that way. So go farm those Briarwood reeds. Another very frequently asked question we've received is, what about weapon skill racial bonuses? From the start, we've suggested that you shouldn't need to worry too much about things like orc and human weapon skills long term, and that you should feel good about choosing whatever race you want based on their aesthetics or other bonuses that race gets apart from weapon skill bonus. Every phase, we get asked for a status update on this, and we just wanted to confirm that yes, the solution is coming at level 60. At level 60, you will be able to discover a method to essentially swap in and out up to 2 weapon skill bonuses for your character.
Big.
So, for example, if I were a Troll Fury Warrior and I had a mace and a dagger, I could swap my passive bonuses to +5 maces and +5 daggers. Please note that these weapon skill bonuses do not stack with each other or with a certain race's normal passive weapon skill bonus. So in the same scenario, if I were a human warrior...
So this is what everyone in my guild was talking about, Troll New Bis Warrior.
Already get +5 maces from my racial skill, so instead I might want to use +5 bows and +5 daggers so that maybe my bow skill had a better chance to hit if I was pulling higher level mobs. Just like your racial skills, however, these passives will stack with any weapon skill you gain from items, such as...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, all the racial things in World of Warcraft should honestly be kind of made on the level of retail, in my opinion. Modernize it a lot, you know? Make everything more or less good. That would be cool.
Which is Obsidian Edge Blade or Maladath Ruined Blade of the Black Flight. These unlockable passives will be available right at level 60, and while there will be a short discovery to unlock them, everyone who wants them will have access to them early on.
Nice.
Continuing that line of thought, yes, priests will also be able to unlock other races' unique priest spells as well.
Oh, finally! My priest is a troll. That is my biggest regret by a landslide. Still don't care, honestly, too much, but you know, being a troll priest doesn't feel that great.
Well, such as Devouring Plague and Fear Ward. We don't want to spoil how this will work just yet, but just like weapon skills, we do get asked about this a lot and wanted to confirm that this was
Makes
also
sense.
coming and would be available early on at level 60. There will also be discoveries tied to accessing these spells as well. So this is the last big item in our level 60 preview, and we think... So first off, you'll notice we've got a tanking...
Holy, look at this! You gain 5 energy every time you parry an attack. Blade Dance now reduces magic damage. Instead of putting a rogue into stealth, Vanish now grants damage. Whoa, baby! Look at these things. Wow, they're actually actual set bonuses. Increase holy damage bonus. Okay, that's a bad one, but increase critical. Okay, well, it's paladins. It's paladins, boys. Relax. No one cares about them. Increase critical chance of rats. Blah blah blah. Nice. This is cool. And I think that's it. Well, that was World of Warcraft, boys. Let's put it back on mommy because she's way more appealing than the other guy. Oh yeah, yeah, boy. I mean. I am a simple man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, this was Quizzer Sid saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye bye.